Two things. First, all interest rates have been deregulated, and this is the last remaining interest rate to be deregulated. So we had to do it sometime, and that's the way forward. So it was on the cards. Second, we've been discussing this for the last 1 year, indeed for longer than 1 year. And we put out a discussion paper in April 2011, 6 months ago. So banks have had enough time to understand this, internalize this, and at least mentally and institutionally prepare for the responses. In question of what is the correct time, there is never a right time for this. If you go back 25 years, can you think of a precise time or a period of time when you said, and you could have said, this is the right time to deregulate savings bank interest rate? So we thought that we had prepared the banking system adequately, we'd given them sufficient time, and this is a good enough time to do this. There was one alternative posed to us or under consideration, which was that do it in two phases. First phase, deregulate with a floor, and second phase, remove the floor. A suggestion made by several people, including perhaps yourself. But we thought a blitzkrieg action would be better, that just deregulate it completely. There's not much we're going to gain by setting a floor and then removing it. That banks will get that much extra time to adjust to it. And banks have told us that it is a challenge, but it's not going to be disruptive. Internally, they may have been calculations, but we believe that for the system as a whole, it will be, some costs might go up, some costs might come down, but the banking system as a whole and individual banks will be able to adjust to it. I would think that that is a misreading of our policy stance and policy direction, because it's very clearly written in the document, which I reiterated again in my statement this morning, which is that there were two considerations that informed this policy. First was inflation. Headline number is high, but momentum numbers are turning down. Momentum numbers as measured by seasonally adjusted Q-on-Q numbers, both for headline and for core inflation, are turning down. That's one consideration. The second was, of course, growth. We said that explicitly, growth has moderated. And as much as some decline in growth is a necessary cost to pay for bringing inflation down, at some point in time, you've got to balance growth and inflation considerations. To the second dimension or second part of your question, which is about the fiscal deficit dimensions of inflation management, we've said that quite clearly even in this document about how fiscal deficit adjustment is necessary to bring inflation down and how fiscal expansion is adding to inflation concerns. We've said that, to my understanding and recall, we've said that as clearly in this statement as we did in other statements.